Hello and welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I'm teacher Oakley. And because it was so much fun the first time, once again, I would like to look at Bushisms. Hooray, hooray! I find this to be a very unique educational tool, looking at quotes from G.W. Bush. It is a unique educational tool because many of his quotes can be used to illustrate grammatical problems, vocabulary problems, mixed idioms and metaphors, as well as references that don't exist, incorrect grammatical structure, time structures, and sometimes just bald-faced rudeness and stupidity. Yay! We can learn about all these English mistakes to make when speaking and writing by examining quotes from G.W. Bush, former president of the United States. Okay, welcome, gentlemen. Hi, Igor. Sorry I didn't say hi. You entered in the last 30 seconds. I was trying to wrap up the last class.
That's no problem.
Sorry. But anyway, welcome to this class. Hello. Hello, Alabek. Welcome back.
Yes. Hello again.
Hello again. Hi, Max. Good to
Hello
see
again.
you.
Hello everyone.
And hello, Shadow. Love that name. Hi, Shadow. Shadow. Are you there?
Yes, hello.
Hi. Welcome to the class. Yes, Igor raises a raises a very good question in the Verbling chat box. Was he really a native English speaker? G.W. Bush. I sometimes have my doubts. I have my doubts that he was actually raised as an American, because another problem is he makes references to cultural ideas that he doesn't understand at all. I suppose because he was raised in private schools in a very rich people's way, he didn't actually much concern himself with the normal society of American people, and thus his cultural references are way off the mark repeatedly. He is clearly, is he a native speaker? Not really, because he was never a native. He grew up in kind of an ivory tower, separate from normal people, and so a lot of his, his connotations, his meanings for words, his ideas and concepts of symbolism and cultural ideas are just way the hell off the mark, to be blunt. Okay. Anyway, that being said, let's examine some Bushisms. I'm going to have you guys read them and try to figure out what is wrong. Now, it could be an actual grammar mistake, vocabulary mistake. Could be, it could be, also look at, after the quote, it'll say when he said it. Think about that, too. Think about his timing. Sometimes when he says something, it's just not really appropriate. Or sometimes it's just plain stupid, as Igor points out. Okay. Okay, Igor, can you start us off with this first quote?
Throughout our history, the words of the Declaration have inspired immigrants from around the world to set sail to our shores. These immigrants have helped transform 13 small colonies into a great and growing nation of more than 300 people.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. What is the problem with this quote?
Well, 300 people.
Yeah. This one is fairly simple to figure out. Okay, he's talking about the nation of United States of America being a great and growing nation of more than 300 people. Why on earth did he pick 300? Does anybody have any idea? I do not. I'm throwing that out to the entire class. Why 300? Where did that come from?
I guess he means 300,000 people.
Shadow has a great idea because of the movie, the 300. Shadow, that's genius.
Spartans. Sparta.
I guess 300 million people, maybe.
Maybe. Oh, there you go. 300 million people, and he forgot to say million. Yeah, that's quite logical. But I like Shadow's answer a lot.
Okay, teacher.
Yes. Alabek.
I think the second mistake that in the United States there are not more than 300 million people. There are, I think, close to 3, but it's not 300 million. It's maybe 275 million people.
Yeah, but Alabek, if you count the illegal aliens, I'm sure it is 300.
That's okay.
We'll give him credit for that. We'll give him a little bit of credit. Okay. Good point, though. Hello, I would like to welcome Maha. Is it Maha? Okay, and goodbye, Maha. Come on back. Don't be shy. Don't be nervous. Hello, Inav.
Yeah.
Inav.
Hello,
Yeah,
Pierre. How are you?
There.
Yeah, you are correct. I'm enough.
I am. Wow, I always amaze myself when I'm correct pronouncing names. Great. Welcome to the class, Inav. And where are you from?
I'm from Indonesia.
Ah, cool. We're neighbors. I live in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So, howdy, neighbor. Nice to have you aboard. Okay, we're looking at some interesting quotes from former President G.W. Bush and trying to analyze what is wrong with this quote. Max, I'll come back to you. Max?
Should we Iranian regime, do they have the sovereign right to have civilian nuclear power? So, like, if I were you, that's what I'd ask me. And the answer is yes, they do.
Okay.
I try to
What is the issue here?
find like, if I were you.
Okay. First of all right.
Okay.
First of all, I want to point out that this device, the dash, and then the continuation of really a second sentence that has nothing to do with the first sentence, this is a this indicates when we're writing, like in reporting, like in a quote. As far as English goes, this indicates a self-correction. All right, so he's pausing and then starting over and correcting himself. So he would be saying it like this: should the Iranian regime, do they have the sovereign right to have civilian nuclear power? Okay, so that's one problem. He's self-correcting in the middle of a speech.
Sorry, what is exactly civilian nuclear power?
Civilian, yeah, well, that's another slight problem. Okay, I guess.
Can civilians be nuclear? Like nuclear civilians that like a bomb?
Well,
no, there is no mistake. Civilian nuclear powers mean that they have some nuclear station.
Nuclear power stations. That's right. That's what he's trying to say, for sure. It is a little strange. Why does he have to say civilian? as opposed to what? Government-controlled nuclear power? Most countries who have government-controlled nuclear power, it's still power for the people to turn their electric lights on and off. So it is still a little odd.
I guess he means peaceful.
Yes, I suppose that's what he means. That's what he means, but we have to interpret that. We have to guess, which is
Sure.
part of the problem. And then, I don't know, here he's talking like, I don't know, a 12-year-old girl. I'm not sure what he's doing. So, like, if I were you, like, that's what I'd ask me, and the answer is, like, yes, they do. Okay. Just terrible articulation, really. Nothing more and nothing less than that. He's adding a lot of filler. So like this is filler because he doesn't know what he's saying. Okay. And he's starting I hate it when people start sentences with connectives, but it is possible. He's not utterly wrong. Okay. So he's telling the reporter another weird thing. Okay. Nader, go ahead.
Yes, the strange thing is that he's asking himself embarrassing questions.
Yes, he is.
Yes, and they didn't ask him, and he brings up this question to himself and gives another embarrassing answer. If they have the right, so why do you prevent them from having the right, depriving them from the rights? So he puts himself in very, very embarrassing situation.
Yes, he does, and that's exactly right. He's asking himself. He's talking to reporters, and he's asking himself the questions.
And he's asking himself difficult questions.
And not only that, he's making it hard for himself. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Nader, go ahead and try the next one here.
But oftentimes I'm asked, why do you care what happens outside of America? George Bush, Washington DC. I remember meeting a mother of, and this is another quote. The other one.
I think there are 2 quotes.
I remember 2 quotes.
Yeah,
I guess.
I think so. This is odd. I didn't realize this before.
But oftentimes I'm asked, why do you care about what happens outside of America? I don't know who asks him why do you care, because if we ask an ordinary man why do you care about what happens outside of America, maybe it is less weird than you ask the President of the United States why do you care.
Right. Okay. So it's a matter of why, and he's oftentimes asked that. Yeah, that is.
And this oftentimes, yes, oftentimes this is the first time I hear it. Is this normal?
Yes, this is a word. Actually, this is okay.
Yes.
You use this. Yeah. Yes, it's kind of strange. Why would you ask the president why he cares about any? Right. It's ridiculous.
Maybe his wife asks him.
Yeah, maybe. Who would ask him that? That doesn't even make sense. Okay. Very good. All right. Yes, it's just seemingly ridiculous and highly unlikely. Shadow, how about the next one here? Can you read this one?
Okay. I remember meeting the mother of a child who was abducted by the North Koreans right here in the Oval Office.
Okay. What's wrong with that sentence, Shadow?
Abducted by the North Koreans, maybe?
Okay. Where were they abducted?
The child.
No, where was the child abducted?
In America.
In the Oval Office, in the president's office.
Yeah. I mean, he met him in the Oval Office. But...
Yeah. Right. So the way that he has phrased this, exactly, it would seem that a child was abducted from the president's office by North Korea.
I get.
Right. Which would be, wow. Okay. How did they get in there? Okay.
Especially when he says right here.
Right here, yes, especially he emphasizes it further by saying right here in the Oval Office. An emphasis to his statement. Of course,
Because it is normal that he meets the mother in the Oval Office. But when he says right here, it means that they abducted him right here in the Oval Office.
Exactly. Right. Now, to prepare this sentence, he could have said, I remember meeting a mother of a child right here in the Oval Office, comma, who was abducted by the North Koreans.
By the way,
meeting a
isn't it
mother
better
of a
just to
child.
say a mother? A mother of a child. Mother has a child anyway. Just a mother. Or just a child.
And also, who was abducted?
I don't understand if it was a child or a mother.
Who was abducted? The mother or the child? That's also not exactly clear.
Yeah.
A mother of a child who was abducted, or meeting the mother of a child who was abducted. Okay. Wow. All right. There you go. If we change, we also have an article problem here. If I say, I remember meeting the mother of a child who was abducted, then it's clear the child was abducted. But this way, it's very vague. I'm not even sure who was abducted. All I know is that they were abducted directly from the president's office. Oh, I remember this one. Okay. Alabek. Try this one.
Yes. I want to tell you how proud I am to be the president of a nation in which there is a lot of Philippine Americans. They love America and they love their heritage. And I reminded the president that I am reminded of the great talent of our Philippine Americans when I eat dinner at the White. Can you lift up a page?
Yeah.
Eat dinner at the White House.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of problems here.
President of a nation in which there is a lot of Philippine Americans.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the Philippine American.
What's that? Alabek, again? You cut out.
Philippine Americans.
Sorry, Philippine Americans something? I don't know.
No, I'm just thinking of.
Okay. Well, first of all, he's got a little self-correction here going, as indicated again by the dashes. He changes what he was saying in the middle, which is really not a great thing for a leader to do. All right, nothing really wrong with the next part. And I reminded the president, I don't understand this part at all. And I reminded the president that I am. I reminded the president that I am reminded of.
By the way, what president?
Himself. He's talking about himself. So he reminded himself.
Oh, he reminded himself that he is reminded.
That he's reminded of something. Right. He reminded himself that he is reminded.
That's really great.
Yeah. Very difficult to untangle this. The great talent of our Philippine American when I eat dinner at the White House. Okay. Well, he is, of course, referring to the White House chef, who was a Filipino American during during his administration. So, okay, he's reminded of the great talent of the Filipino Americans when he eats dinner. Okay. Kind of a strange thing to say. Okay.
By the way,
I
do
love
you
it.
write Filipino with F?
Like this?
Yes.
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 Yes, we do. It's
So
true.
which one is correct or both are correct?
With a PH? When you're
Yes,
talking about
Philippine,
when you're talking
Philippine
about
and Philippine. Yes.
when you're talking about the country or Philippine Americans, it can be like this. All right, because you're talking really about the country. When you're talking about the nationality, they use an F. Furthermore, just to confuse it a little bit more, there's a masculine and a feminine. If you're talking in general, Filipino can be general. Filipino can be male, or Filipina can be female. Filipina. She's a Filipina with an A at the end. Okay. This is kind of weird because the president at the time was a woman, Gloria, and they say Filipino, but I guess because they're really referring to the nationality of the country, the
Yes.
president.
And he will never know that this difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I remember this one when this happened. In the Philippines, here where I live, I was here when this happened. And they did not get offended. They thought it was hysterically funny. A few people got offended. Most people thought it was very funny.
But I guess maybe he was talking about the president of the Philippines when he reminded her. Maybe.
Oh yeah. Well, he's talking to her. Yeah, he's talking to the president of the Philippines. Okay. Or Philippine Americans when I eat dinner at the White House. But he's referring to his chef, so it was confusing.
Yes. It's always confusing.
Okay. Enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Try this next beauty.
And I, unfortunately, have been to many disasters as president.
Yay. Good for you.
It's like he's being honest, that telling the people that he was a disaster.
Pretty much. Yeah. I've been to too many disasters as president. Yeah.
Can we use to or through here?
Sorry? Again?
Have been through to, have been through or have been to?
I have been. Either one is okay. I have been to too many disasters. Just indicates a direction. Okay, I've been through. He's passed through too many direct disasters. Either one would be okay in English. Actually,
so here he means places.
Yes, that's right. Because he's talking
Not
direction.
experiences.
That's right. That's right. He has been to too many places that were disasters. That's correct. As president, there's really actually nothing particularly wrong grammatically with this sentence. Okay, it's just kind of a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
For president.
So especially with two. Too many.
Yeah, he likes to go to disasters. Okay, and too many.
Yes.
It's
the
more
problem
than
is too many. Yes.
he wants to. Right. Okay.
My regime was full of disasters.
Pretty much. That's what he's saying. Nader, how about this next one here?
There is some who say that perhaps freedom is not universal. Maybe it's only Western people that can self-govern. Maybe it's only Maybe it's only white guy Methodists who are capable of self-government. I reject that notion.
Okay. Well, I don't see anything particularly grammatically wrong or vocabulary wrong. Just very indelicate.
Self-critique, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
He's criticizing his people for thinking that way.
well, he is a white guy Methodist.
Would you?
Well, he is. He's a Methodist. He's a white guy. Maybe it's only, white guy Methodists who are capable of self-government. Okay. It's quite indelicate to say that in public for a president. I don't know. It's oh yeah, I like this next one too. That's Igor. Okay, very good.
Your Eminence. Your Eminence, you're looking good.
Sexy. Okay.
My Eminence.
Talking to the Pope. Yeah.
Well,
Okay. So, first of all, you're looking good. Doesn't seem like something you say to the Pope.
yeah. Well,
You
Your
do it,
Eminence is even more funny.
Super duper. Okay. The Pope is
Your
right.
Holiness.
Your Holiness. That's right. Your Eminence is for Cardinal. So, it's like calling him Senator. Hello, Senator. When he's the president, he's not even addressing him. Okay. Here's another ridiculous one. Let's see. Inav.
Yeah.
Great.
The German asparagus are fabulous.
Yay. I have no idea what he's
Yeah.
talking about.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. Oh, okay. Glad you noted that. Yeah, I just don't think that makes a lot of sense. Okay, Inav,
Yeah.
I'll give you another one. 2 for
Okay.
1 special.
We've got a lot of relations with countries in our neighborhood. Like there's so many countries in their neighborhood. Neighboring countries.
Yeah, we've got a lot of relations. Okay. Notice that he just says we have a lot of relations. He doesn't say good relations or
Oh,
bad
yeah.
relations. Okay, so this is also not good. We have to specify if we're saying we have a. First of all, there's another even deeper, more hidden meaning here. In English, if someone has relations with someone else, we often look. We're going to say I have good relations with my neighbors. I have bad relations with my boss. When in English we just say somebody has relations with someone, we're actually leaving out a word. We're actually meaning sexual relations.
Oh, yeah.
So by not saying good or bad, he culturally leaves it just relations, which would actually be interpreted by most Americans as being sexual relations.
Yeah.
Which is also
And
not.
when yes, and especially with a lot of
Yeah, a lot of relations. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Countries in our neighborhood, and I don't even know what that means. You don't. A neighborhood is a small, immediate area.
Yeah.
Okay. Which doesn't usually include countries. Okay. All right, Nader. Let's look at the next one here.
one of the things important about history is to remember the true history.
Okay.
So, what is the true history? So
Yeah.
this means that the history is fake. Maybe it was rewritten by people, and we have to look to remember. But how can we remember the true history if it's not written?
Well, exactly. There's a small loophole in logic here. Exactly.
Yes,
And,
I know that this, there is a quote that history is written by Victorians or what? Those people who
yeah, history
just
is
the
written by the victors. That's right.
victors. Yes, yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
But if it's written by the victors, we don't have any other sources to remember the true history.
Well, precisely. And well, the inference here is that, okay, we have our history, but then, of course, we should always remember the true history as well. There's an inference that we have, the fake history we tell everybody, but then we should probably remember our real history.
Yes.
The inference that I get from this.
But I guess we will know his meaning if we know the context. When did he say it?
Yeah. Yeah. It could have been.
If he was talking about like original Indians, American Indians, maybe he was talking about.
Right. It would be even worse.
Yes.
Okay. Igor, you want to tackle this next one?
There is no question this is a major human disaster that requires a strong response from the Chinese government, which is what they are providing. But it also responds a compassionate response from nations to whom have got the blessings, good blessings of life, and that's us. What the fuck?
I am not certain what he's saying here. Round and around, and where do we go? Nowhere. Okay.
I don't know, it's like gibberish.
Uh-huh. Yeah. How did he ever win debates? Political debates? I'm not sure. What did he say? Okay, there's so much wrong with this, it's hard to know where to start. He's okay for a while here. All right, there's no question this is a major human disaster that requires a strong response from the Chinese government. Okay, then he has a relative clause, which is what they're providing. Okay, and connective, but it also responds. What is it? It also responds. Well, I think he meant to say it also demands. And I think he just used the wrong vocabulary word.
Yeah.
All right? It also demands a compassionate response from nations to self-correction again, to whom that have got the blessings. What blessings? Good blessings of life. Okay, thank you for defining that. And that's us. Okay.
Other countries are not blessed with life, so there are zombies there or something.
That's right. Okay. The blessings. It's very strange. Very odd. Okay. It responds, compassionate response. There, he's just clearly using the wrong vocabulary word.
The last part, I guess he's talking about countries that have no problems like USA, that have the blessings of God not to suffer like China,
right?
Maybe.
And then again, I draw your attention back to the earlier quote. I unfortunately have been to too many disasters. Oops. Oops. Okay. Okay. Here's another beauty. Enough.
Yeah. Okay. Let's make that there is certainty during uncertain times in our economy. Certainty during uncertain times.
Yeah. Wow. There's a leap in logic I have a little problem with. Okay. Make sure that there is certainty during uncertain times, which means times without certainty. Okay. Okay, that's
Then there has to be uncertainty during certain times.
okay. Let's make sure there are marbles in the dish. Let's make sure that there are marbles in the dish with no marbles. What?
Yeah, with no moral.
Okay. Yep, that's just pure twisted logic, or lack of, rather.
But I guess he's obsessed with this kind of sentences. He thinks that he's a philosopher, so he
Yeah,
has to add his touch.
that's right. His touch. That's right. Uh, yeah, I guess he does fancy him. He fancies himself a painter now. He's spending his days as an artist painting. So he would like to think of himself as like a modern day Leonardo da Vinci kind of guy.
George Bernard Bush.
Yes. All right. He's a well-cultured man, a philosopher, an artiste, etc. Okay.
We, you know, we have that saying in Arabic. We say, after great effort, he explained water with water. When you ask someone what is water, then he thinks too much and he says it's water. It's the same idea.
Very good. I like that expression. That's great. After great effort.
After great effort, he explained water with water. He does this all the time.
Yes, exactly. Okay, very good. He does do this all the time. All right. Adair, can you try this next?
We got plenty of money in Washington. What we need is more priority. So, yes, this is, if true, this is very, very good that he has plenty of money. But what we need is more priority. Is that only the only problem is that he has to know which one to do first, which to do first. If it's true,
Yeah.
maybe this is true. Maybe this is true.
And you
Yes,
actually you pointed out a grammatic error. You said maybe you have plenty of money. He noticed that he says we got. This is actually grammatically incorrect as well. We need to say we have plenty of money or we have got plenty of money. It is not okay to say we got plenty of money. Okay, so there's another point. What we need is more priority. And as well, you can't.
What kind of priority?
Yeah, what kind?
Yeah, priorities. And you can't have, it's ridiculous. Priority means one. This is my priority. This is the thing I'm going to do first. This is the most important.
First goal.
Most important. Priority in itself is basically something that has to be superlative. It is the most important thing. That is the definition of priority. So you can't have more. First of all, he could say more priorities. It should be plural. But even that is ridiculous because the definition of priority is the most important thing. So we need to have more of the most important things, which also doesn't make sense. So
I guess he means what we need more is priority.
okay, we need. All right. What we need more is a priority. There, that
priority,
would be.
Yes.
Now that would make sense if you inverted more in. I see. Yes.
Yes, and maybe this is very true that they have plenty of money, but they don't know how to spend it.
Oh no, Nader, I would argue that point. They know how to spend it. Boy, they know how to spend it.
I think that
They're a little too good at that.
I think that he tried to say that they have to establish priority. Like they just don't know what to do right now.
Right. Okay, you can establish priorities. Well, and that would be a much better way to say it, Igor. What we need to do is establish priorities. Okay. Right. Not more priorities. That still doesn't make sense. Okay. All right, Igor. Let's take a look at this one.
And so the fact that they purchased the machine meant somebody had to make the machine. Okay, I understand that. And when somebody makes a machine, it means there is jobs at the machine making place. What is it? It's a garden English or what?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to start with this one. Wow.
It's like, it's like garden English, I think. Kindergarten English.
Yeah. There's jobs at the machine making place. Great.
It's like
Yeah.
child's logic here.
Yeah.
What do you call this guy? Captain Obvious.
Captain Obvious. Yes. All right. Well, as as in Nader's very nice quote there, he explained after much deliberation, after much effort, he explained water with water. Okay. Right. Very good. Okay. Meant somebody had to make a machine. When somebody makes a machine, it means there's jobs at the machine making place. Okay. All right. Okay. Wow. I just don't even know where to go with that one. Crazy. Enough. All right. Let's talk golf.
I don't want some mom whose son may have recently died to see the commander-in-chief playing golf. I feel I owe it to the families to be in solidarity as best as I can with them. And I think playing golf during a war just sends the wrong signal. Signal.
Signal.
The
Yeah.
signal.
Okay.
Signal.
I don't know. I don't think there's anything overtly wrong with the grammar or vocabulary.
Maybe I don't want a mom. I think it's kind of weird.
I don't want some
Some
mom. Nah, that's actually very kind of some
okay,
mom.
no.
Son
Oh,
may
yeah.
have recently died.
To see the commander-in-chief playing.
This is kind of a slightly off thing to say.
Oh.
I don't know what golf has to do with war in particular. I don't know. Nothing overtly wrong. Nader, can you look at this one?
I'll be long gone before some smart person ever figures out what happened inside this Oval Office. Yes, yes, that's really true. He knew the future. Now, but before I'll be long gone. Not long gone. Now we are trying to figure out what he said, and he didn't leave the Oval Office long ago.
Yes, this may be the smartest thing he ever said.
Yes.
Well, long gone.
For me, it's like I'll be long gone before some smart person. Like there are no smart persons there now.
Yes, you're right. It's also intimating or inferring that there aren't any smart people in the Oval Office now, or even in the administration, to figure out what I'm doing.
Yes.
Or in the world, maybe, because he is so smart, we cannot figure. People who could not figure out what he meant at his time. So it will be a long time ago, a long time after his departure. Then a smart person will come to understand what he meant.
Yes.
Yes, he was a. Yes, what is the expression I told you are using ahead of time? You said.
Person, a man or a woman. We usually say a man or a woman ahead of their time. Right.
Yes.
So
he thinks himself to be ahead of his time.
Exactly. He thinks that he's ahead of his time. Right. Exactly. But the funny thing is, yeah. Oh, yeah. Funny thing is, it actually does make sense if you look at it in another way. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I don't even understand this one. How can you? All right. What? Igor, try this one out. Okay.
How can you possibly have an international agreement that's effective unless countries like China don't focus. I think he used the wrong word here. Like, instead of unless, he had to use if.
Yeah. Yeah, because then he has not full of participants, but that countries like China and India are not full of participants. Participants in what? Saturday afternoon basketball? What are you talking about?
Well,
Participants in the
international
agreement? Okay,
I think
all
he
right.
means the international agreement.
Okay, so he expects all of the citizens of China and India to be involved in an international agreement.
Yeah.
Is that what he's saying? Okay, that's a little goofy. Okay. Okay. Still, it's
I
all
guess
right.
the second part is very vague. You don't know whether he means that they must be full participants or they must be excluded.
Right. Because again, as Igor pointed out, unless or if. Unless is the negative of if not.
Yes.
If countries are
Unless
not
countries like China and India are full participants, maybe.
right. So you have a double negative because really unless is a negative, and then you have not again. So he's also definitely using a double negative here, which is confusing. Dennis thinks we're just misunderstanding him. All right, Dennis, come on in and explain it to us, please. I welcome you. Okay, that's fine. Okay. I think there's a double negative, which makes this hard to understand. I guess he's trying to say that, but what also it doesn't make any sense. Full of participants, he's talking about the citizens, unless countries like China and India are not full participants. Oh, I'm reading full of. I guess okay. All right, are not. Okay, it's the double negative. Okay, I was reading full of participants. Okay, I read that wrong. I was reading it wrong. Okay, next one.
So you can say full participant or you have to say fully.
These countries like China and India are. Yes, this not should not be here. That's the
Yes,
problem.
no. Aside from this not, if you want to say that he has to be fully involved, you
No.
say full or fully?
Full.
Fully.
Because fully
Full.
it would be an adverb. You'd say are fully participating.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
With the verb. Right.
Yes.
So you use the adjective. Right. Okay. We figured it out. Enough. Can you try the next one?
Oftentimes, people ask me, why is that you're so focused on helping the hungry and diseased in strange parts of the world? Kinda awkward.
Again.
A president say strange parts of the world.
Yes, that is odd. Why would you characterize countries on the earth as being strange parts of the world?
Yeah.
That is odd. And again, it's the same thing as earlier when he says, oftentimes people ask me, why do people ask me why I'm interested in other countries? Because you're the president, you idiot.
I don't know who asked him.
Yeah, who's asking him these questions?
Because if he has people like this in the Oval Office, it will be very problematic for us, before you.
Yeah, right.
Who are his consultants, or
Yeah.
advisors?
Yes, otherwise known as his cabinet. Yeah, well,
Yes.
okay. He had his vice president, Dick Cheney, and you got Rumsfeld. You've got a bunch of winners in there.
What exactly is a strange part of the world?
I don't know. Maybe my neighborhood, Igor. I'm not sure. Okay, well, here's a clear-cut grammatical error. Igor?
That's great.
Okay.
So who's reading?
Do you see it? Igor, can you read this one?
Okay. We want people owning their home. We want people owning their business.
Okay. All right. We want people owning their home. Well, that's okay, as opposed to renting their home. That's okay. We want people owning a businesses.
Yeah. Their
Business.
home.
Yeah, well, okay. You have an article A, that means one. You cannot have a plural with an
Well,
article.
you just want all the people to have one business.
Owning a business. Yeah. Or you can say owning businesses. Either one is appropriate, but this is grammatically wrong.
And also, as he said that he wants all the people live in one particular house, particular home.
Right. Okay. All right. Nader, actually, can you look at this next one?
Sorry,
So long as
I have a question there.
Yeah, okay.
Was Bush always so vague? Like his vocabulary, no, he's a little bit. He can't describe things correctly. He's like doesn't have a good vocabulary for that. I don't know.
Well, I think Nader hit on it earlier. I think he fancies himself as a bit of a philosopher, and yeah, I think he tries to be. I don't know. He tries to be very. I don't know how to say it. Like quotable.
Full of sense.
Yeah. Well. He's trying to be flowery in his speech, and he overdoes it frequently, and he ends up with a mess. I don't know why, really. Well, sometimes you shouldn't be allowed to talk, really. Nader, can you read this one here?
so long as I am the president, my measure of success is victory and success. So
yeah.
this is the same. This is the same idea. Success. He measures success with success.
It is.
Water with water.
Water with water.
With water. Yes.
Perfect example. So he's defining success. Success is
With
when
success.
you're successful. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Even if when you say successful is when you're successful, at least you added something.
Yeah. True.
But here, yes. He doesn't even change it. Before when he said that the war in terrorism was that in the 10th crusade, and this yes, you don't know, maybe you didn't hear it. It was very, very problem. People here were very offended with this.
Yeah, no, I remember.
But yes, but now I understand. This man, you cannot take him seriously. Whatever he says, no problem. Yes, I was really offended, but now I don't feel any offense. Whatever he says, no problem.
Just sort of falls out of his head. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. As I was saying earlier, they quoted about the Philippines, Philippine Americans, whatever. It was mostly just received as funny. He's such a bonehead. This is nice. Thank you, Your Holiness. Awesome speech.
Awesome speech.
Dude. All right, Igor, here's another stroke of genius. All right, Witchy, I'll give this one to you. He said it in Sochi, Russia. Okay, there you go.
I see. A lot of times in politics, you have people look you in the eye and tell you what's not in their mind.
Okay.
So if I look him in the eye and just tell him what's not in my mind, it doesn't make sense. Like they don't tell you what they exactly think. It's okay, but
yeah.
How can I tell you what's not on my mind?
Yeah. The minute you say it, then it's on your mind. Monkeys eat bananas. Oh, that wasn't on my mind before, but it is now. So yes,
Yeah.
there's no. It's reverse logic. It's impossible logic.
I guess he means hypocrites. Oh, you say hypocrite?
Hypocrite is the person.
Hypocrite. Yes.
Hypocrisy.
Yeah. Yes.
Hypocrisy is the noun to express the
Yes.
idea.
Yes. I guess he is referring to hypocrites. Those people who tell you something and they think about something else. He I guess he tells people that sometimes in politics you have people look you in the eye and tell you what's not in their mind. They tell you something and they hide something, another thing.
Right. Right.
But why isn't it look you in the eyes? Why would they just look in one eye?
No. The expression actually has this idiom right. People look you in the eye. We actually express it without plural. Look you in the eye. Look me in the eye and tell me that. Okay, for example.
Okay.
So actually that is correct. Okay, Dennis, I don't know. Dennis is asking me which one is my favorite. I have no idea which one is my favorite. I have to look at more, Dennis. I'm going to have to get back to you on that. There's so many. There's such an enormous amount of these quotes. The most quotable president ever. Okay, we are definitely out of time, however, unfortunately. I'll see you guys again real soon here on Verbling. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Very enjoyable. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.